Urban Community School Tech Tips. It's learning. Adding an assignment with the UCS Rubric linked to standards. So, we're going to start by logging in, and we're going to navigate to our course. To do this, we go to Courses, select the course that you're working in. I'm still working in the demo course. Here we are. The planner. So we're going to go from on the sidebar to the planner, and here we go. Here's the lesson that we created in the last video, Unit 1, Newton's Laws of Motion, Law 1, and now we're going to add an activity. To add an assignment, click on this little green plus arrow over here. Clicking on the plus, you then have the option to select any that have been created before, or to create a new, or search libraries for ones that have been saved. So let's create an assignment here. Assignment. We're just going to call it assignment 1. You'd put the instructions here. Instructions assignment. You would then set the deadline at a specific time or at the end of a day. It'll then pop up with a time field. You input the time. I'm going to put no deadline for now. If the assignment is mandatory or required, yes or no. Setting it up if the students can see it, yes, no, or set the time for that. And then you can also attach different files, like a Word document or a PDF for them to access. So now we move into the assessment. For the assessment, you want to select which type of assessment you want to do. You'll want to select UCS MS scale, which stands for Urban Community School Middle School Scale. And then you want it to add to the gradebook. You'll then select the trimester that you're using this assignment for, first, second, or third, and then you have the ability to add learning objectives. So let's start by adding learning objectives. Add learning objectives. All of the ones that you've selected for this course will appear. So since this assignment is on the laws of motion, we're going to click on this, which talks about Newton's 3 laws of motion. So then you're going to say insert. The selection has now been inserted, and then you're going to select close. So it then appears here. You can then manage the assessment criteria. When you click on managing the assessment criteria, you're able to add criteria for what that learning objective means. So you click on add criteria. What does it mean to meet? What does it mean to meet this criteria? Describe how the change in position, motion. So what student is advanced? What student is proficient? What student is basic, minimal, or academic emergency? So the criteria for this learning objective would be, because it is Newton's 3 laws of motion, this could have 3 criteria: understanding law 1, and then what an advanced student has, what a proficient student has, what a basic student has. So that's understanding law 1, and then you'd fill in all of these descriptions just by clicking on here and writing a description. For the second criteria, it would be understanding law 2. And then you could add a third criteria of understanding law 3. You also can set the weight of this for this assignment. For example, you could set this weight to 0 and this one to 0 as well, because this assignment is only working with law 1. Therefore, that would have the weight. So when you're done doing the assessment criteria and filling out these, which these will save to the learning objective, you then can close this. You then have assessment criteria attached to the learning objective, and you have your assignment. You can then save the assignment, and the assignment then appears in the activities and in the sidebar. Under Unit 1, assignment. You can then add multiple assignments. You can even add different things like, instead of creating just a basic assignment, you could create a test with different questions, including multiple choice. You could also add an ungraded survey for students to submit different answers and for you to evaluate what they know. There's many different tools in here. So that is adding an assignment with the UCS rubric linked to standards.